Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll discuss the span of the management. We have been discussing the different span of the management. Okay, so we have been discussing since the very first lecture, that is the principle of management, the concept of management. We have discussed the definition, what are the characteristics of management, okay, and what are the 14 principle of the management. And today we'll discuss the span of the management. It is very important topic as far as the management is concerned. The span of the management, this refers to the number of subordinates in the organization who can manage effectively by the superior. So we have discussed the different types of the systems are there. Uh, Formal organization is there, informal organization is there, and there are different types of the formal organization. For example, line organization, line and stop organization. So in that we have discussed the structure of that organization. Different organization is having the different structures, and so there is a top level management, middle level management, and the bottom level management, and how the span of the management is there, means what should be the span of the manager, what should be the span of the subordinates. Okay, so span means how much is the area so that he can monitor that area effectively, and he can given his attention to that area only. So whether that span is very wide or narrow, that is depending upon that we can call it as a span of the management. So span of the management refers to the number of subordinates, how many subordinates are there in any organization who can manage effectively or efficiently by the superior. So superiors are there, to the superior how many subordinates are there. So simply the system in which the manager having the group of subordinates who report him directly is called as the span of the management. Means there is a managers, and under the managers how many subordinates are there. And if there is one manager is there and he is having the 4 subordinates, that means his span of the management is 4 subordinates are there, and these 4 subordinates will directly report to this manager. Span of the control or span of management is the dimension of organizational design measured by the number of subordinates that report directly to a given manager. So the span of the management is also referred to as span of control, the span of supervision, span of authority, or the span of responsibility. Okay, so this term span of the management is nothing but the suppose the authority power is given to the manager also delegate this power and authority to the subordinates, and therefore the span of the control, one manager is there, and if there are suppose 4 subordinates are there who is working under that manager, then the span of control of that manager, span of the supervision of that manager, span of the authority or the span of the responsibility of that manager, which is delegated to these 4 subordinates, and accordingly the subordinates will work and he will report to the managers. So it indicates the number of subordinates who are under the single reporting authority. It indicates the number of subordinates who are under the single reporting authority. Means subordinates are there depending upon the organization, whether it is formal organization or informal organization. So whether it is a big organization, small organization. So structure is varies from organization to organization, and therefore like a managers or CEO, whoever it may be, we have to report to the superior. So types of span of the management means, or we can say it is structure. So depending upon the number of employees that can be supervised or controlled by managers, there can be 2 kind of structure in the organization. So depending upon the number of employees that can be supervised or controlled by the manager. फोन नंबर लावा आणि ते नाही एकच आहे ना ते, एक आपल्याला ऑलरेडी एक पाठवायचं आहे. ते स्कॅन करायला यांच्याकडे त्यांना जे जे प्रॉब्लेम ऑफिस मध्ये असतात ना प्रिन्सिपल करायला कोणाला मग कोण आहे तिथं? बरं आणा तुम्ही नंबर लावून आणायचं पाहू मग. नाही आपल्याला सध्या ईमेल करायचं आहे त्यांना, तुम्ही फक्त त्याला हे आउटवर्ड नंबर टाका आणि आमच्याजवळ देऊन टाका तो. बाय हँडच का बाय हँड पाठवायचं आपल्याला तिथं युनिव्हर्सिटीतच पाठवायचं. हा पण आता सध्या आज ईमेल करायचं, ईमेल बाय मेल म्हणा. हो. So, depending on the number of employees that can be supervised or controlled by managers, there can be two kind of structure in the organization. So, depending on the number of employees, if it is a big organization is there, number of employees may be more. If it is a small organization, number of employees may be small, and therefore the supervision which is controlled by the manager, there is a two types of the structures. One is a tall structure. Tall structure means the structures are found in the classical bureaucratic organization. For example, means Tata Groups, Reliance Group, then Infosys, Dhirubhai Ambani Groups, Reliance Group. Okay, so these structures are found in the classical bureaucratic organization. In this structure, the manager can supervise less number of subordinates. Managers can supervise less number of subordinates. He can therefore exercise tight control over their activity. This creates a large number of levels in the organization, and this is also known as the narrow span of the control. So tall means your height is very big. Height is big, but its width is small. That's why it is called as the tall structure, and therefore we can say it is a narrow span of the control. Only height is very big. It is a tall. So here in this structure, the managers can supervise less number of subordinates. Here the less number of subordinates is there under the manager, and therefore he can therefore exercise a tight control over their activities. As the number of supervisors are very less, therefore this manager can control this activity very tightly, and therefore this creates a large number of levels in the organization. As the less number of subordinates are there, therefore this will create the large number of levels in the organization, and this is known as the narrow span of the control. Next is the flat structures. Flat, these structures have the wide span of the control. When a superior supervises a large number of subordinates, the flat structure is created with lesser number of hierarchical levels. As you it is so when the supervisor he supervises the large number of subordinates, therefore the structure is a flat. That means his span of the control, we can say it is a wide. It is a wide span of the control, and therefore previous was the narrow span of the control. So here the supervisor or the manager supervises a large number of subordinates. Therefore, the flat structure is created with a lesser number of hierarchical levels. Therefore, the number of levels will be here less. So important of the span of management. Okay, the span of management is varied with the structure of organization, and determining the appropriate span of the management is very important. It is because of the following. Okay, so we can say the span of the management is varies from with the structure of organization. So if it is a big organization, small organization, whether it is a formal organization or informal organization, every organization is having their own structure, or they will have the different structures. They are having the different structures, and therefore the span of the management is also varied with the structure of the organization, and therefore uh, determining the appropriate span of the management is very important, even though it varies from organization to organization, and therefore it is very necessary to determine its span. And the following points were to consider for determining the span of the management. The span of the management affect the efficient utilization of the management and effective performance of their subordinates. So what is the importance of span of the management? Whenever the span of the management uh, control or the monitor their subordinates or the workers, and therefore they monitor it closely, and therefore they see whether the efficient utilization of the management is there or not, effective performance of their subordinates are there or not. So more wide of span may mean the managers are overstraining themselves. If the span of the management is wide, definitely the manager has to look each and every subordinates, and therefore wide the span of the management is wide, and therefore to see all the structures of the span of the management, he may overstraining themselves, and that their subordinates are receiving very little guidance and control, and they will also receive the little time to monitor the activities, and therefore they will have the little guidance and control over all these groups, and therefore on the contrary, too narrow a span means the managers are underutilized and subordinates are over control. And it is also when the span narrow span is there means the managers are underutilized. They should not be underutilized. Okay, proper utilization of managers should be there, but when the narrow span of the management is there, sometimes they have to monitor the very small group of the workers or subordinates, and therefore and most of the times they will be free, and therefore they will be underutilized. It should not be there. So whenever the narrow span is there, such type of the things will be happen, and the subordinates are over control, and they will be over control unnecessary. So the relationship between the span of management and organizational structure. A narrow span of management in tall structure organization has many supervision between top management and lower level management. This involves more communication and cost. On the other hand, a wide span for the same number of employees has limited supervision and cost effective. So the relationship between span of management and organizational structures. A narrow span of management in tall structure organization has many supervision between top management and lower level management. Whenever the narrow span is there, means tall structure is there, number of levels should be more, but there the relationship between them is the top management and lower level management. There is the where there is the relationship between this, and therefore there will be the narrow span of the management. Okay, and this involve the communication and cost. On the other hand, wide span for the same number of employees has limited supervision and cost effective. So it is very necessary to have the wide span of the management, so that there will be the limited supervision in case of the wide span of the management, and it will be the cost effective. Factors influencing span of the management. So competence of managers. If the managers are competent in their job, they can have the wide span of management. Okay. And competence of managers is judged by their ability to make decisions related to the motivational plans, leadership styles, communication channels, and change techniques of control, etc. Okay. So this is the competence of management. So managers should be competent in their job. Okay. so that they have the wide span of the management. If they are competent in their job, they will look over the wide span of the management, and competence of manager is judged by their ability to make the decisions, where to take the decisions related to the motivational plans, leadership styles, communication channels, and change techniques of control, etc. Nature of work. If employees perform similar and repetitive work, managers can supervise large number of subordinates and thus have the wide span of control. Non-repetitive and challenging work requires narrow span of control. So nature of works, if employees perform similar and repetitive work, managers can supervise large number of subordinates. Okay. So if repetitive work is there, only just we have to supervise the large number of subordinates and therefore have the wide span of the control. If the repetitive type of the work is there. Okay. If the repetitive type of the work is not there, then every time the manager has to monitor the work efficiently, whether they are doing efficiently or not, whether they are following the standard practice or not. And therefore, if the repetitive work is there, the manager can supervise the large number of subordinates and therefore have the wide span of the control. Non-repetitive and challenging require the narrow span of control. Factor influencing span of management. Assistant to managers. If the managers have access to technical or secretarial assistance, a large group of subordinates can be managed. The span of control therefore be wide. Staff assistants can be useful for collecting and processing information related to the various decisions and issuing order to the subordinates. So factors, this also influence the assistant to manager. If managers have access to technical and secretarial assistance, a larger group of subordinates can be managed. Okay. And the span of control can therefore be wide. Staff assistants can be useful for controlling and processing information related to the various decision, issuing orders to the subordinates. So if the span of the span of the management is very wide, and therefore the managers has to monitor the wide span of the management, and therefore he has to monitor all these groups efficiently, and therefore he may require the assistance. He may require the staff assistance in order to carry out these works, and therefore staff assistance can be useful for collecting and processing information related to the various decisions and issuing order to the subordinates. Okay. So competence of subordinates. If subordinates are competent, we have seen just now the competence of managers. Similarly, the competence of subordinates. If the subordinates are competent to manage their job without much assistance from the superior, the span of the control can be wide. Obviously, the superior or the managers, they do not need to give the attention to their span of the management, that means the employees and workers, and therefore if the subordinates are competent, if they are a skilled person and they do not require the assistance from the superior, the span of the control even can be wide. Okay. Then competent subordinates do not require frequent direction from the superiors because they are competent enough so that every time they do not require the directions from the superior, or means they do not require the information how to do this work, when to do, and what activities were to follow, what processes were to follow, because they know everything, and therefore they do not require the frequent direction from the superiors with respect to their various organizational activities. So plan and policies. If the plan clearly define the organizational and individual goals and policies, superiors can supervise a large group of subordinates. If the plan clearly defined, means as you know that the planning is very important. This is one of the important function of the management, and therefore if the plan is clearly defined, the organizational and individual goals and policies, then superior can supervise the large group of subordinates. Okay, and therefore have the wide span of control. Clearly defined plans include well formulated policies, procedures, methods, etc. That is when the plan and policies are well defined in any organization. Next is the organizational level. The top executives look after important and specialized activities, and therefore the span is narrow at the top level, but at lower level the span can be wide. Since supervisors are mainly concerned with routine jobs. Authorities and responsibility structure. If authority responsibility structures is well defined and understood, superiors can supervise large number of subordinates. People work within the confines of their responsibility and take direction from superiors only when required. Okay. Authority and responsibility structure. Authority responsibility structure is well defined, means manager has authority as well as responsibility, and similarly with the subordinates, similarly with the workers also. So authority responsibility structure is well defined and understood. Superiors can supervise large group of subordinates. People work within the confines of their responsibility and take direction from superiors only when required. So that is depending upon the authority and responsibility structure of the organization. People will work as per their responsibility, and if they require any direction, they will take the direction from the superiors. In this way, the work is smoothly conducted in any organization if the authority responsibility structure is there. Next is the factors that also influence the span of the management is the systems of control. So effective techniques of control can enable the manager to supervise larger number of subordinates. So effective system of control promotes decentralization, and superior do not actively involve in the decision making process as decisions are taken at the levels where they are required. So that is the system of control. If the decentralization is there, then every time the superiors they do not require to give the uh, information to the subordinates or subordinate to the workers what to do or how to do. Okay, because there is a decentralization, and therefore the superiors do not actually involved in the decision making procedures as the decisions are taken at the levels where they are required. Okay, so that is a decentralization. But when it is a centralization, means every decision is taken at the central level, and therefore the superiors and workers they do not then they have to depend upon the information which will be received from the uh, top side or the management side. Therefore, if the system of control is there, superiors do not actually involved in the decision making process as the decisions are also taken at the levels where they are required. If the decisions are required at the ground levels or at the worker levels, they will take their own decision when the system of control is there. Financial factors. Both narrow and wide structures have the financial constraints. Financial constraint is everywhere. A narrow span requires the manager. Narrow span requires more managers, and so that it is a costly form of structure. Wide span, on the other hand, may result into organizational inefficiencies. Advantage of span of management in tall structure. Advantage of span of the management in tall structure, the close supervision is required. Manager can closely supervise activity of subordinates. They can be better communication among superiors and subordinates. Better building better relationship. It promotes personal relationship among superiors and subordinates. effective control. So these are the advantages of the span of the management in tall structure. Whenever there is a tall structure, then manager can closely supervise activity of subordinates because it is a narrow span, and therefore manager can closely supervise activities of subordinates. Effective communication is also there because it is a narrow span. There can be better communication among superiors and subordinates as far as the narrow span of the control is, narrow span of the management is there, are in tall structures. Building better relationships, it promotes personal relationship among superiors and subordinates. Effective control on subordinates can be tightened in the narrow span. Okay. But that effective control will not be there in the wide span. Okay. Next is there are some disadvantages of the span of management in tall structures. It creates many levels in the organization structure, which complicates coordination amongst levels. More managers are needed to more managers are needed to supervise the subordinates. Okay, because it is a tall structures, and therefore the levels are more in this case, and the more managers are needed to supervise the subordinates. This increase the overhead expenditure, for example salary. It is thus a costly form of the structure. Increasing gap between top managers and workers slow the communication process. Okay, because every decision has taken at the central level, and therefore if the gap is increased between top and workers, this will slow the communication process. Decision making becomes difficult because of the too many levels. Decision making becomes difficult because of the too many levels. Superior perform routine job of supervising the subordinates and have less time for the strategic matters. Okay, in case this is the disadvantage of span of the management. Superiors perform routine jobs of supervising the subordinates and have less time for strategic management matters because he has to spend his whole time uh, over the supervising the subordinates, and therefore that is the disadvantage. Employees work under strict control of superiors. Decision making is primarily centralized. This restricts employees' creative and innovative abilities. Advantage of span of management in flat structures. So flat structure means it is a wide structure, wide span of the management. What are the advantages of this? There is a low cost as less number of managers can supervise organizational activities. The decision-making process is effective as superiors delegate authority to subordinates. They are relieved of routine matters and concentrate on strategic matters. The decision-making is centralized. Subordinates perform the work efficiently since they are considered worthy of doing so by the superiors, and there is effective communication as the number of levels is less. It promotes the innovative ability of the top management. So these are some advantages because it is a wide span of the management is there. Decision making, whatever the decision is taken, it is effective as the number of superiors uh, gives the information to their subordinates, and it is a wide span of the management. So the number of subordinate they are more, and therefore whatever the decision taken at the top level is effectively delegated to the subordinates and from subordinate to the workers and different employees of the organization. They are relieved of routine matters and concentrate on strategic matters, and therefore they have more times. The superiors have the more time, and therefore they can concentrate on strategic matters. The decision making is centralized. Subordinate perform the work efficiently since they are considered worthy of doing so by the superiors. There is effective communication as the number of levels is less. It promotes innovative ability of the top management. So the disadvantage of the flat structure, the superiors can closely supervise the activity of the employees. Managers may find it difficulty to coordinate the activities of the subordinates. So that would be the disadvantages. Some subordinates have the train, they have to be trained so that the dilution of control does not affect the organizational productivity, because there will be the dilution of the control in case of the wide span of the managements, and therefore that is actually it will dilute the control. Okay, but that control does not affect the organizational productivity. So they should be trained enough. Subordinates should be trained enough. Both the tall and flat structure have positive and negative effect, as each coin has positive. Each coin has two sides, that is head and tail. When you toss the coin, you may get either head or tail, and therefore every flat and tall structure, they have positive and negative features, and it is difficult to find the exact number of subordinates that a managers can effectively manage. Some managements theorists like David D. Van Fleet and Arthur J. Bendian assert that the span of the control and organizational efficiency are not related, and many empirical studies have proved that the span of control is situational and depends on the variety of factors. Centralization and decentralization. This we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, centralization and decentralization. Okay, I think this much is sufficient today. Rest will centralization and decentralization we will see in the next lecture.